Hey everybody, this is Dan with Pain Free You. Today I have the pleasure of introducing an old client of mine, Gerald from New York, and he's volunteered to share his story. We haven't talked for quite a bit, probably a couple of years,
Mm,
so it'll be fun to catch up a little bit and see how you're doing. So, Gerald, why don't you
mm.
introduce yourself and take us on a journey?
Well, number one, thank you very much to you. I owe you a lot, most of my life, actually. So I will start off by saying I'm one of the happiest, luckiest people on earth. Um, I don't know what the hell can go wrong anymore, which is pretty amazing. Because I'll go as my story goes a little longer, but I probably the most blessed human to ever live.
Right.
Um, and it's most likely because of all the darkness that I've been through.
Okay.
And there's many. I'll go into a lot of quotes. I'm a big quote guy, but without darkness, there is no light. Um,
Great.
so I'll start off with a couple pointers. I'll start off with my quick story, a
Mhm.
synopsis of it, but then I'll basically of all the learning that was done, of all the podcasts, of all the hours I spent watching you, of all the books that I read, of the all the study of the human body, the pelvic, the back, the blah 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 blah, which I'm sure that many people can relate to. Um, I'll sum it into really quickly a couple of minutes, and then I'll do the five or six most important points. Um,
Sure.
but I spent approximately, so it's about 2 years since we chatted. Essentially two the best years of my life. Actually, no, two of the best years, 100% of my life.
Awesome.
I am pain free, 100%. I spent 13 years and 1 month in chronic pain. 13 years and 1 month in chronic pain. And it's hard to get a fucking smile off my face. So, and if I curse here and there, I'm sorry. That's just with pure
It's okay.
excitement and joy.
And you're from
Um,
New York, so we'll,
that's
we'll
right.
let
It's
you
part. It's
slide.
it's part of the dialect.
Exactly.
Um, but it was a very, very, very long time. And I say that not to scare people because stuff like that used to scare me. Like, oh my God, when I was 5 years in, this guy's 7 years in, this guy's 9 years in. Oh, I can't deal with 4 more years. So that's not something to be said to scare anyone at all. But I say that because I'm now on the other side. Um,
Mhm.
because on the other side of suffering, there is joy. And I can promise every human that watches this every single human I can touch, every single human you can touch. Um, and I'll go into one of the points, but it was 13 years of just pain, mental pain, physical pain, diagnosis this, diagnosis that, trying to figure it out. Started in my hamstring, then it was my hamstring tendinosis. Then I was diagnosing everything, and then I had SI joint dysfunction, and then I had a bad right hip, and then I had a bad left hip, and then I had a fused vertebrae, and then I had a thoracic spine, and blah blah blah. And this probably will resonate with hundreds of thousands of people around the world. Um, I had everything, or so I thought I did.
Yeah.
And through the years, all of this stuff came through. I mean, I was first kind of introduced to Sarno's type of work maybe like 2010, and I basically threw the book at the guy and told him he was a quack, he was a weirdo. All that stuff had nothing to do with me. But something I was later taught in later years and made all the sense in the world was when the student is ready, the teacher appears.
Mhm.
And I was given all these lessons over and over and over and over again. And I just fell and fell and fell. And it was here. It was here. And that's not to say that it was my fault. It's not to say that it's anyone's fault.
Correct.
It's just to say that we kept it alive. And I could write every single book on chronic pain. Also, thanks to you, I'm a coach, a
Right.
mental performance coach. Yes, and I coach some very, very, very big names now. Thanks to you, and thanks to my ability to get on the other side. It was something that I was always meant to do,
Right.
but I could never do because I felt like I was I had imposter syndrome. How could I do something if I knew that I wasn't right? Um, But it was the constant looking for pain that kept me in pain. And I didn't want to hear it. And I did everything just like you. I looked up Lorimer Mosley. I looked up everything. I looked up, and then I realized 100% of the pain is made in the brain. End of
Mhm.
story, full period, stop. Now, acute pain, that's different. I had I'll get into it, a recent thing of acute pain, but it was like this. It was so easy. Um,
Yeah.
and make a long story short, the only reason why it bothered me was because I wanted to run a half marathon. Half marathon is 13.1 miles. I spent 13 years and 1 month in pain. Couldn't wait to do that. It was a bummer, but there'll be a million half marathons.
Yeah. We
Um,
literally had a group member that just on the second ran the New York Marathon.
yeah,
And last summer, he had to cancel the Berlin Marathon, which he was scheduled to run because
yeah,
of knee pain. And so
yeah.
we went from having him cancel the Berlin to running and finishing the New York in a half a year. So
It's amazing.
very
And
cool stuff.
that's exactly what I had. I had the knee, and then of course, because I was so well versed in how this stuff works, one person said, "Oh man, that's going to take at least a couple of years." The other said, "Oh no, that's fine." The other said, "You got torn meniscus." But when you're well versed in this kind of stuff, it is what it is, and you move on.
Yeah,
And that's part of my healing, and that's the group. But I'll run you through, and a couple I'm sure will hit home with you, and
sure.
a couple will hit home with the thousands of people that watch this. But I, because of you and because of some others, I got introduced to like the likes of Carl Jung, and I went down Rumi's route. I went down I learned the brain inside and out, and basically have my degree in neuroscience. But the amount of hours that I spent.
Yeah.
Um, but here's the synopsis. If I can do a cheat sheet, just like when I was a kid in school, we had Cliff Notes, and that was the best thing. You literally, I didn't
Yeah,
want to
little
read the
yellow
book.
books.
That's it. I didn't want to do all the work. I just wanted the fucking easy part. So, and it's still in my life, but I just want the snapshot. Just give me what I need to know. Um, and again, before I even go into any of this, here's the craziest thing ever done. Thank God for my pain. Thank God. Now it's easy to say that now. I know, and people are like, "Oh, look at this guy. He's freaking nuts." Thank God, I got goosebumps just saying it,
Hmm.
right? Because the pain made me who I am. It was everything that I needed to do in order to find my purpose, in order to help people, because I talked the talk and I walked the walk. But number one, king of all kings, what you resist persists. What you resist persists. I have people write it down, tattoo it on your arm, put it anywhere you need to. Do as much research on that concept as you can until it makes so much sense that you don't understand how another human doesn't make sense.
Right.
Number two, huge turning point for me, January or something, two odd years ago. The symptoms do not drive the bus. The symptoms do not drive the bus. Everything in my life, as soon as the symptoms came, it was immediate depression. It was immediate forecasting. The symptoms drove everything.
Hmm.
And now seeing from I knew all these concepts, but now they tie in together perfectly. Number three, numero tres, all storms pass. Again, all storms pass.
Hmm.
It got me through the toughest times. You helped get me through the toughest times. Just the mere fact that even though I was nearly 100% certain that it wouldn't pass, the reality is 1 million times it did pass,
Yep.
right? Because the reality is we've all made it through 100% of our worst days. Why? You and I are sitting here now. And listen, with 13 years plus, long fucking time.
Yeah.
It's a long time. And a lot of life happened to me before that. And I can't wait to the shit that's going to happen next. Two
Awesome.
beautiful daughters, an amazing wife, an amazing career, and amazing stuff. All while I hid everything. Very few people knew, which was a testament. Maybe looking back, that kind of added to it. But it is what it is, right? All
Sure.
that matters now is I feel amazing. Number four, and everyone should watch this video over and over and over again. And it'll make sense for anyone watching this. Anyone goes deep on you. I taught myself to forget Spanish. I taught myself to forget Spanish. So, I don't know if you've done a video on that or anything in a while, but anybody, you should put up a link to,
Yeah,
or
I have a video how I taught myself to forget
yeah,
Spanish. So I
yeah.
mean, you're quoting
So,
me with these 1 through 4 already. So
yeah, exactly right. And number five was given to me um, by someone I only worked with once, but eventually brought me to you was Steve Ozanich. I'm sure you know Steve,
yep,
and his work and Sarno's work, and something hit me like a fucking bat out of hell. Uh, and he said to me that floored me, and it tied so much together that the biggest mistake in trying to heal is trying to heal. Again, the biggest mistake is trying to heal. And this is not to blow your head up and not to, but you've done an incredible job of summarizing a lot of works. And I went everywhere. Went to this guy, that guy, but you lived it. You've seen it. You've done it all. The other guys did. It took bits and pieces from everything. I didn't necessarily buy into everything, but they all went into one, right? So
sure.
and it all started with guys like Sarno and stuff like that. We have to give them credit to where credit is due, right? Um,
Yeah.
but
What's interesting is all the years that I've been playing in this space, I have
mm,
never spoken to or met Steve Ozanich.
incredible
I mean, I've
guy.
read his books, but I
Yeah,
like we've
yeah.
never met or spoken, which is interesting.
It, he's almost impossible to get in touch with now, and I think he's just winding down. He's done enough of that, but he's the story's amazing, but you have so many similarities.
Yep.
Um, and it that all hit home to me because again, that's where Carl Jung's work, all that stuff came in. Because for 13 years, every fucking second of every day was devoted into how I was feeling.
And how
How
can
I
you
was
fix,
feeling.
how can you fix it?
How can I fix it? When is it going away? Everybody's familiar with the red car theory, right? The reticular activating system. When you're looking for something, you'll find it. It's guaranteed. This is all, forever. Everybody thought all this shit was, including myself, hocus pocus. It's rooted in neuroscience. As
Hmm.
sure as the sky is blue and the sun will come out tomorrow, all this stuff is proven. And now we can see with imaging, we can see with all this stuff. But this controls everything.
Yep.
Okay. Controls everything. You see, because the prison I was living in, the door was open the whole time. I just needed to walk out.
Yeah.
And that's the whole theory. You got to go down, you got to learn about the paradox of control. To some people, this may seem freaking crazy. But the more I tried, then the more I chased it, the more it ran. Right. And that's the case with anything, with your career, with your money, with your kids, with your goals. You just got to leave it because here's another great one for you as well that you thought. And fear and attention equals chronic pain.
Hmm.
A squared plus B squared equals C squared. Pi equals 3.14. The same fucking shit. It doesn't matter. It's so simple.
Yeah.
But when you're in it, and I understand, and hopefully there's somebody out there, there's somebody listening that's going to say, "Holy shit, this guy! Oh my god, I can't even. I tingles. It's every day's tingles, and people worry about shit, and there's people honking on the car, and I'm just sitting there smiling because I can't believe people worry about this type of shit.
Yeah.
Because when you're in it, everything is just the alarms are going off, and everything is going off, and you're on the state. And now I crave silence. I work out 7 days a week. That was taken from me. I, devoted my life to fitness. I cold plunge. I breathe. I tell people no all the time. Someone said, give me vitamin N. I said, give me more of that shit. Because all the stuff that I learned, I was people pleasing and all this stuff. And now it's really, I know this sounds sadistic and weird, but now when I get something, it's so obvious. And I'm like, holy shit, are we really going to play that game?
Hmm.
Even so much as in like 3 months ago, 2 months ago, even 2 weeks ago. Now don't, for those out there, yes, it goes away completely, but every once in a while, it gets you hard. It's just whether or not you let it get, and you gotta laugh at it,
Yeah.
and that's guys like Schubiner and all these guys and all this stuff, but it's quite simple. Anything in life, where energy goes, energy flows. Where energy goes, energy flows. That's even if you're mad at your spouse, your kids, if you want to get some, all the attention, it just gets attention, right? And all along, it was just my fear of the chronic pain that made it worse. And now, I was mad at somebody at work, and all of a sudden, and again, through all that stuff too, and for anyone else listening, I had surgeries, I had this, I had that, I had everything. And did I need them? Maybe here or there, but obviously, when it goes that long, it's a lot more than just pain, right? There's a lot more going on. So yes, there is sometimes if you get hit by a car, you run to the emergency room.
Oh, of course.
Do all the thinking in the world ain't going to get you out of that situation.
Yeah.
If you tore your meniscus, if you broke ruptured your ACL, okay, I can understand it. But also, after all those surgeries, that stuff can still linger because we all know about phantom pain. We all know about all that stuff,
Yeah.
and it's just there. Um,
I literally had
but
a lady in my group who lost her arm as a child,
mm, mm,
and she had a fall never a problem. 3 years ago, she had a fall on a tennis court, and she developed phantom pain in the missing limb. And
amazing.
she's trying to overcome that, which is wild because for 50 years she had no phantom pain from the missing limb. But then she
Yeah,
had a physical trauma, an accident, an
yeah,
acute injury, and now all
yeah,
of a sudden the brain turned on phantom limb pain in a limb that's not even there. So we're
yeah.
working through that at this point.
Which is super crazy because again too I almost became, I mean, I'm a Roman Catholic, I'm Irish Catholic, but it's like I have more Buddhist principles than anything,
Yeah,
and let go or be dragged, right? You just got to let go or be dragged.
I
A-
like that.
and so much of our suffering, right? It's like Seneca once said, we suffer more in imagination than we do in reality,
Mhm.
right? So all of these crazy things in our personal lives and our pain lives and our anything, we can literally create it. But here's the good fucking news. You can also create a really good scenario on the other side too, which is
Yeah.
amazing, right? Because just like you can manifest the good, you can manifest the bad as well. But it goes both ways. Um, so, I learned about visualization. I learned about closing my eyes and running, and I realized that, when someone introduced me like the concept of just your vision system, and I said, close your eyes and jump rope. And I did it, and it felt like I was doing it. My mind was blown, right? Because the human brain doesn't know what's real and what's not. And that really started me again on the journey as well. But just like your woman with the pain, I mean, essentially, the craziest thing in the world is that she knows it's false. She knows it's false, but yet our brain allows it to continue. And unfortunately, the answer is so hard, but it is so simple.
Mhm.
We just uh, let it go.
Yeah.
Let it go. I was trying to control everything. I was trying to control my money, my life, my wife, my kid, but it's all the same shit, just bottled up into one. And then you think, oh my God, am I fucking crazy? But I was never crazy. It was just, we find these common things in all these people. It was people pleasers. It was just constant, but it was looking, and you see it in all of your, aspects of my life. It was rumination on anything. Um, but there's concepts that you have to go through it,
Yeah.
right? You must go through the shit. And if you realize that you must go through the shit, guess what? The shit won't stink so bad. I promise. If I can give anyone 13 years of advice, just that's it. Just deal with the shit, the smell, the muck it up. I don't care. Playing it. Do whatever the hell you have to, but it'll pass. But you got to go through it,
Yeah.
right? Because we got to learn. And that was the thing too, and that was the other aspect of it, and I think you went through it as well. I knew and I understood everything, and I could write the book on this, that, and how to do this, and then I realized, holy shit, all I'm doing is trying. I was trying to fix myself all the time instead of just letting it be. And how I tell people all the
There's
time,
nothing to fix.
there's nothing to fix. There was nothing. It was my obsession of fixing that kept it alive.
It's
Uh,
teaching, it's not fixing.
correct. And it's knowing. It's deeply knowing, which is what I will. And I've accepted the crazy thing in the world now that it something will come back. I know it will, and it does. But I know what to do. You know, um,
Yeah.
my mother had a stroke, and I remember doing exercises on the floor. While I was hearing that my mother was having a stroke, because I knew that I had to fix that before I dealt with the emotional stuff. But that's where the fixation in the mind was, and it was just about forgetting it. And how I teach people now in terms of not pain, because I do mental coaching and performance stuff is, it's like when you have a scar when you're a kid, and if you pluck the scar, what happens? Oh, skin. And you pluck it again, it never goes away.
Yeah.
But if you just say, "Oh shit, there's a scar,"
Yeah.
and then a week later, where the fuck did it go? Oh, it's
Yeah.
gone
The scab falls off if you leave it
because you
alone.
let because you left it alone. And it's the craziest thing in the world. I mean, that's the paradox of control, right? We constantly want to do it, and I would wake up in the morning. I'd say, where is it? How bad is it? How can I do this? The moment my eyes open in the morning now, thank God you did it again. You woke me up. Look at that.
Right.
How much fucking better can it be? And I set myself up with these habits. And every day in my life, in my Alexa, in my shower, you had a similar thing as well. Don't Worry, Be Happy by Bobby McFarlane. That's all I listened to. Don't Worry, Be Happy. Yours, I know, was I Feel Good by James Brown, right?
Yeah. I
So
feel good.
that's right. I knew that if my brain could be set up in a bad pattern, the opposite is also true where I could be set up in a good pattern,
Hmm.
right? So it's the brain kept me in that familiar state forever. It just learned it. It just learned it, and it was comfortable and it knew. And no matter how bad I wanted to get out, and that was the grass, right? That was the Buddhist teaching. If you jump in water and you start flailing, what happens? You fucking sink. If you just let go, you're like a kid, you start floating, you float for 5 hours, be the happiest cat in the world.
Sure.
It's the same damn water, right? It was the perspective, it was the effort. Every single day I kept it alive, and it's crazy. And I'm on the other side and I know. And you're like, oh, this guy's lucky. He's like, but I was the guy watching me and I couldn't figure it out.
We're
But
too
you
close.
just have to stop trying.
Yeah.
I was trying.
We're
I
too
said, what do
close
you
to
mean
it.
if I don't? That's the craziest thing. We're taught since we're yay high, right? Do this, do this, do this, you get better. No, you got to let it go. You have to see it and know, right?
Hmm.
Because fear is what if, faith is even if, right? So fear, what if this, what if that? I remember, Dan, my kids being fucking born, the greatest days of my life. And I was figuring out because I was in so much pain, so much pain. I was like, can I go in the delivery room? Because there's no chairs to sit in.
Hmm.
This is the stuff that was going in my mind. And how can, oh my God, will I not be able to cry? Am I human? My fucking daughters were being born, the best days of my life. And this is the stuff that I was thinking about. I was stuck. I was stuck.
Yeah.
And I didn't know, right? So, oh, here's another great news too. 13 years of it, right? But 11 and a half was kind of a waste. I was doing every PT, every chiropractor, every damn thing in the world. Because a lot of times you do have to treat the body. Now, I'm not going to say I have a love of the human body. It's the most amazing thing in the world. But you got to, the mind body is mind body for one reason. You got to treat the mind and the body. It's one. You can't treat one, not the other. Everybody's searching for diagnoses. And it's so, I'm sure you're the same. I see people and I'm like, I just want to grab them and say, oh. but I gotta let them go through it, right?
Mhm.
Because I can't catch them the fish. I gotta teach them how to, right?
Yeah.
So I'm robbing them that opportunity, but I see it and I just plant the seed. And the more seeds I can plant, in 15 years, we're going to be treating pain with Wim Hof breathing. We're going to be treating pain with, exhalations. We're going to be, you're going to be learning about the parasympathetic nervous system in 7 years old. And I'll be happy to help lead the charge.
Yeah.
My shit, it's my duty to get on the other side. Um, but, the reality is, and there's another one that stuck with me, and now being on the other side and hit me like a ton of bricks is, we all have two lives, and the second begins when we have just one. Life's too short to be in damn pain. It's too damn short. I
Mhm.
lost too much of it, and I'm not angry at it. I'm thankful for it. I was angry at it all the time, but now I realize that I was thrown in the water to teach me how to swim. And I had to go through all the stuff and I realized, and it's my duty to go out there and tell as many people, to help as many people, because they'll spread it, but they have to see it and they have to feel it. I have to be called crazy. I thought it was crazy when somebody said it's all in your brain, and there's the camp, and I really hate to say it, but I don't believe in the camp that, my father was mean to me. I had a great father. He's still alive. He's an amazing human. He was never mean to me. So, my father was mean to me. That's why I had to pain that. I can't get behind that. But I can get behind with emotions, right? Because I realize even now with the higher emotions, I can feel anything. I
Mhm.
can feel my damn left toe if I'm stressed.
Yeah.
But I needed to teach how to come out of that, right? I needed to get out of this. Every day was this. And now every day is
Yeah. We can't white knuckle it through life and expect to
no,
feel good.
no, no.
And
It's
so many
near
people
it's
I deal with are just white knuckling every day of every year. And
nearly impossible. I was writing it down. I was figuring it out. Well, if I do this, well, if I get up and if I breathe, and then after I breathe, I do a walk. And after I do that, I do a meditation. And then I said a prayer. And then I put my legs up. God, I wasted so much time.
well, you were spending all day trying to fix something that wasn't broken in the first
Oh,
place. And if
never was
you
broken.
and your
Never was
brain is
broken.
watching you spend hours a day trying to fix something and get away from something that wasn't broken, and the only conclusion that your brain could come
Correct.
to was there must be a problem. Look at how much time he's
Correct.
spending on this, and look at how aggravated he
Correct.
is. There must
Correct.
be a
Because
problem.
the more I focused, the more I felt.
Yeah.
And anybody you can do that with any exercise. You can do that with your personal life, your business life, doesn't matter. It's always true. It's never not true. And and it was because now you also do need a little bit of time, right? So at first maybe it was a week without pain, but a week was amazing. I remember you remember those times. Oh, holy shit. And then 2 weeks. And then oh, here's another great thing. Never felt pain on vacation. That was fucking weird, wasn't it?
Yeah.
What's going on here?
I've had it both ways. I've felt good on vacation, but I've also had times when the vacation was the worst of it because I was so in my head that my pain
Both.
was going to ruin my vacation that it actually did.
100%. There was times where well, obviously it's going to be horrible because I can't sit on a damn airplane. You know, I couldn't sit down for more than 10 seconds without screaming. Couldn't figure it out. But now looking back, I realized it wasn't the bucket seat that was hurting. I would go on restaurant sites before I went out with my wife on a date,
Look at the
and I'd
chairs.
see what kind of chairs they had. And then other people would say the same shit. I said, "Oh my God, I think I have what they have," and that's an enlightenment, and that's why it's so good. It's so good and so bad to be in like groups, right? Because the good idea of a group is you should get what you need and kind of get out, right? Because a,
Mhm.
a, a lot of people, it can set your day up wrong if you see somebody else. But it was the group that helped me get out because I realized, hey, I wasn't a fucking weirdo, which is awesome, right?
Right.
Number two, it's not unique to me. Number three, I do the same damn thing, and I would get a good chuckle out of it. And then I realized that, wow, if I don't pay attention to, it's going to go. And it's the complete and utter definition of faith is I had no fucking idea when it would leave. And someone said something to me crazy. And they said when, I'd hear all these stories when I got out of pain. I go, dude, when I get out of pain, I'm gonna know the minute where I was stand. I have no fucking idea. Zero.
Me
Don't
neither.
know. Don't know.
Mm.
I know an approximate time, but I thought the heavens were gonna come out and it was just gonna be like a Caribbean vacation. I'll be like, you did it. There's gonna be like people dancing.
Yeah,
None of that.
parade and,
That's it. That's
balloons.
it. I had a tattoo picked out. I was gonna do the date and time, the latitude. No idea. No idea where I was, how it happened. That's 13 years of that shit, right?
Yeah, but the
So
reason it went away is because you stopped caring when it went away. So that's why
that's
you
it.
didn't notice exactly when it went away.
That's it. All I did was keep an eye on the prize the whole
So
time.
counterintuitive. It's
That's
ridiculous.
that's it because all I was doing was pay attention. Fear plus, as you say, attention equals chronic.
Yeah.
It's like Einstein's theories. They're all proven to be exactly correct. And again, that's not just with pain. That's with everything. That's why I say use this type of stuff. The best gift that anyone can get, this is fucked up, is chronic pain. The best gift. Because I promise you on the other side of it, oh man, life's a freaking treat. It's a
Way
treat,
better. Yeah. It's a
treat,
blessing.
right? And it's a blessing because you went through it. And again, I can't, and I know, and I still want to make sure that I keep my old brain there as well, because I'm when I feel a symptom or something like that, my brain is pre-programmed to go right there, even though I've had these great years. But I know it's going to go quick,
Mhm.
and it's the only thing I have to do is say, I don't know when, but I know it will. Because you can immediately forecast. Because the whole life was if I'm good by Friday, if I'm good by my wedding, I
Yeah.
hope I'm good by summer. I have this concert, blah, blah, blah. And it was the constant looking and it was the constant checking that made me stay exactly where I was.
Yeah.
And I did it with every facet of my life because, like you said, there was nothing wrong with me. But instead of accepting that, I pushed people away. I push people away. When somebody tried first telling me, "Oh, it's all in your head," I'm like, "Dude, this guy's quacked out." And now I'm that guy, which is awesome.
Yeah.
I tell everyone celebrate being fucking weird. Be weird as hell. The weird ones are the ones that change the world, right? Because it's if everybody else is the same, they look for people like us to come and do it. Because I'm not going to lie to you, because I just want you to get better.
Sure.
And I don't want you to make the mistakes that I made, but I also need you to make the mistakes that I made. But it's so important to realize it's all good. I mean, here, here's another one I steal from you. Fucking works like crazy. It's a big nothing burger. It's a big
I've
nothing
just
burger.
started using that lately. So,
It's a big nothing burger because you just, again, in life, we know these concepts, whether it's pain, whether it's our life, whether it's our spouse, whether it's our job, our kids. We know these concepts, but yet we don't pay attention to them, right? And again, that's the other thing about trying. Everybody wants to read the book. Did I miss something? Can I watch the video again? Can I do? And then, boom, light bulb. Holy shit. I watched that video 67 times. Fuck, that may be a reason why I'm still in it. And that was the exact reason why I'm still in it, right? So it was these little doses, but you've got to come to these realizations. Um, and you've got to realize you're going to get out of it,
mhm.
right? Because if you do what you've always done, you will get what you always got. All I did was the same shit all the time. It's
I,
not working.
yeah. I
It's
just did a
not
video in
working.
the past couple of days about implementation versus knowledge gathering.
Yeah.
And some people are just addicted to gathering health
Oh,
information.
oh, oh.
And
And
they think they're problem solving because
yep,
they're researching and studying and learning, but they're not implementing anything. And
yep.
so once you
They're
have a certain base of
fixating.
knowledge, you got to put the books down and implement. And
That's
implementing
it.
here is actually doing less, not process, not a 14-step protocol. It's the deep
100%.
knowing. I'm going to be
100%.
okay.
with 100% certainty. Because here's the fun part: every storm has passed.
Hmm.
Every storm has passed, and every storm will pass forever
Yeah.
until we're 6 feet under. But every day that we're above is a gift. And again, that all sounds crazy and corny and gratitude. Fucking life is incredible. It's incredible. Why? Because you saw the other side, right? You realize, you just do everything, just anything, just do different. Take a different way to work. Get out of bed on the other side, right? Brush your teeth from left to right instead of right to left. Scramble this fucker like there's no tomorrow because he only likes the patterning. He wants to get out of it.
Yeah.
See, we think the brain thinks it's doing because it just realized the pattern of bad. It loves predictability, right? But the subconscious mind, once you learn how that puppy works, you're very protective of what that goes in there, right? Because there's only two real ways to get in there, right? It's true hypnosis and repetition. Because it's only through repetition that we learned all that stuff.
Right.
So if we can do it, if you can repeat and do the other stuff, and again, I was big into, and it still works, and act as if, just act as if. Sometimes I was against that fake it till you make it mentality, but you just got to act as if. And the more you act as if, the more the brain says, "Holy shit, man, Dan ain't in trouble no more. Gerald's good.
I
Gerald's
always
good."
say, think better than you feel.
That's it. That's it. And for anyone who's watching and just looked at like Joe Dispenza's work and stuff like that, great stuff. Again, I'm not advocating. Just take little nuggets from people. Don't go deep on it. Um, and there's a mantra that I teach myself, my kids, everyone in my life, all the people that I coach, everything. And it's very simple. And it's just my name is Gerald Conlon, and only good things happen to me. My name is Gerald Conlon, and only good things happen to me. My name is Dan Bullion, and only good things happen to me over and over and over and over and over again. Because here's the fucked up part about neuroscience, right? Garbage in, garbage out.
Hmm.
But if you put in the good stuff, you only see the good stuff. Put in
Yeah.
the bad stuff, you only see the bad stuff. So if I'm out there always saying my name's Gerald Conlon, only good things happen to me, I get the first spot at the grocery store. Home. Gee, I got sweets to the Yankee game. You want to go? Hey, I deposited some money in your account. Thanks for taking care of that for me. I wasn't looking for it,
Right.
right? The less you look, the more you'll find.
Sure.
And it was all these concepts, and it kept on going over and over. It's all these lessons that we learned then throughout the years, and just packaged in a different way. But when you start really being like, holy shit, all storms pass, faith, resistance, persistent. Whoa. And then you start thinking like, you ever remember the movie Beautiful Mind? He's
Yeah.
he's
The mathematician guy.
yeah, he's in front of the thing and all the stuff, but in his mind, everything is making sense because he's connecting it all, and that's how I felt because I knew I could recite every text of every mind body book ever read, but it was only when I closed them and put them down and say, I know enough now.
Enough. Yes.
I know enough now because the education and then the knowledge, but it's the application. Because I could sit here till the fucking sun comes up tomorrow, no pun intended, worrying about hydrogen gases and everything. But I got some real solid belief that the sun's coming up. I don't need to learn much more.
Right.
It's 92 million miles away. It's yellow. It warms us. It's good enough for me. I can go down the rabbit hole, but what's the bother, right?
Yeah.
I know it's coming up. And if it's not coming up, who cares? I'm not here anyway. Right. So it doesn't really matter.
Yeah.
But it's the knowledge and the application. It's that deep knowing. But the really cool thing about the subconscious mind is that deep knowing, we can teach it. It's like a record. I don't know if you're familiar with like Bruce Lipton or any of his stuff. And he was always, everything in life, we just press record and play. That was everything. You know, you could teach a kid anything between the ages of 0 and 7. There's all this stuff that's playing in the background that we never knew.
Right.
And you got to teach and you got to rewrite that paradigm. Guys like Bob Proctor, all these guys in the month said, what the hell does neuroscience have to do with pain? I don't even
Everything.
understand. Yeah, but
Everything.
you couldn't even understand it. You didn't know, and it was what it was the wow. And maybe when you can really realize that in other areas of your life, that it makes sense and how it can be applicable to play. Guys like you and I don't sound too much like quacks. You say, man, maybe the guy's onto something. Maybe I should listen to what he's saying.
Sure.
And then the proof is in the pudding, right? The more we do it, the more we get. But the effort, it was always effort and everything. I just wanted to get out of pain. It's all I wanted to do all day long, my whole life,
Hmm.
every waking moment. I mean, think about that. Think about that in terms of resistance. I don't want to be poor. I don't want to be poor. I don't want to be poor. You're going to be broke as shit. You're going to be broke as shit,
Right.
you know? But, again, I don't want to be in pain. I don't want to be in pain. It was the age old and another concept that brought me right back to what you resist persists is, don't think of a pink elephant. Do not think of a pink elephant. It's impossible. This puppy here can't work in negatives.
Yeah. Stop thinking
Just
about the
sees what
pain. Stop thinking about the
it,
pain.
yes,
Doesn't work.
yes. And it's such a hard concept to think of. It doesn't even make sense to us as human rational beings. But it's forget everything you knew and just have deep faith and deep understanding that that's what's going to happen because that's what it is. It's faith. And some people believe in God, some people they don't. I don't care if you believe in a rock. Just believe in something.
Right.
Believe in something outside yourself because here's the deal. What you're doing so far, it ain't fucking working. Let's give it a shot. What do you have to lose?
Yeah.
What do you have to lose?
I have a lot of people who go, okay, Dan, so I'm not better yet, so should I just keep doing what I'm doing? And I'm like, no, not
Yeah,
if you're living with your symptoms and pain miserably,
correct.
fighting it, resisting it, trying to fix it. That's not working. We got to adjust and shift, do something different. Try
Correct.
less, be less bothered,
Correct.
more
Uh,
indifferent.
and the being the indifferent is, um, the true belief in outcome independence,
Hmm.
right? I heard a great one the other day. I keep on reciting. I give it to everybody. You know, everything will be okay when you're okay with everything. Again, everything will be okay when you're okay with everything, because life is just this. Oh, my whole life. What if? What if? What if? What if? What if? What if? If I was a detective of what if, there would be no Sherlock Holmes. It would just be Gerald Conway because I could predict every possible worst case scenario. And you know what I never did? I never said, "What if I'm better by my wedding? What if I'm better by my kid? What if?
What if it all works out?
What if it all works out?" And just saying that, I don't care
Mhm.
how deep you're in the shit right now for the other people on the other end of the screen. Just say it. You got nothing to lose. And the brain says, "Shit, what if he's right?" And then you start teaching it the other way. Because if you're speaking, going back to how I taught for those who don't know or haven't watched the video, you can't forget Spanish if you're living in Mexico.
And speak
Just
it
not
every
gonna,
day.
just not gonna happen.
Hmm.
You're gonna speak it every day. That's the brain's relationship to pain.
Yeah.
You're speaking it every day. You know, worrying is like praying for something you don't want, right?
We sound
Just
like the
oh,
same person.
just but we say it all the time, right? It's just like there's a whole lot of effort. You're not going anywhere. You're just not going anywhere. But that's all I was doing. I was worrying, 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 worrying. It was the attention. But again, beautiful, beautiful. I think everyone, again, sounding like a crazy person, everybody should get a little shot of chronic pain, maybe 5 months.
Yeah.
People say, I don't know, man. My knee's been bothering me for 2 weeks. 2 weeks. 2 weeks. I nearly shit myself. You know what I
Try a
mean?
decade and a half.
Yes, yes. And then, oh my God, because Normally it's like you get on the other cusp because then it just becomes, and I became anti-doctor and then I became everything. And I came back to them later because I just said, what the hell? Let me just check this. Let me just, and it all worked out so beautiful
Yeah.
because I just let it go. Right? Because the three words, let it go, let it be. If you just relax, right? And that's the breath, right? The story follows the state. Everything is just, you just gotta let the physical body just calm down. And the more it calms, right? The more we realize we're not in pain anymore. There's no more smoke alarms going off.
Yeah.
Right? Because the alarm was always on. And I knew the alarm was on, but I didn't know how to shut. You just need a little break. And the break was what allowed me to go the week and then the not week. Because another mistake that I made, it was even when I had maybe, and this was during the journey, I had a 8 month or 7 month thing during COVID where things were really lower, where everyone else was COVID for me was like, holy shit, this is great. Stress is low and didn't even think about it. And then I connected because again, one of Steve Jobs' greatest lines ever, the dots always connect in reverse. Right? They always connect in reverse, not going forward. But I realized because I was in a chiller state, right? And I didn't worry as much. And then when it came back, the moment it came back, it lasted 2 more years, but it came back with a vengeance. And then I became always terrified of when it came back.
Sure.
And then I started saying, when it does come back, I know it'll pass. And immediately the resistance,
Yeah.
right? And it becomes a fun game because you get so good at it that you realize, wow, it wasn't all for nothing.
Yeah. And I tell people all the time, this is not recovering from symptoms and pain. This is recovering from fear. And so when or if it comes back, I'll know what to do with it. I'll know what it
Correct.
is.
And the reality is that it's all fear.
Yeah.
And
Perceived
and
danger.
it could be fear of getting wet when you got your nice suit on.
Hmm.
Just say, I'm gonna get wet, it's gonna fucking dry. Big deal. I don't know if I get wet and I go to the dance and everybody says, why are you wet? You just say because it was raining. Right? This fear, but fear, if you just sit down in a dark room and don't have any distractions, just say, what am I so damn afraid about? And when you realize that, it's not just the pain, there's a lot of other stuff going on. It's a lot of other stuff going on.
Yeah.
But all of these rooms have to be quieted, right? Because when it's gone on that long, trust me, it's a lot more than just pain. The pain is what you're looking for because it realizes that, oh, I don't I don't really want to hate that person, even though they annoy the fuck out of me. So I'm gonna put it into my right hip, you know? And
Yeah.
I can see it. Even now I can see it where it goes right down. I'm like, well, how could that happen? That's impossible. Wasn't there for a long time. And then I could literally create it. And then I'm like, holy shit, I'm a magician. But you can work the opposite way. I play a funny game. I'm like, imagine it can go to my left pinky. What does it do? Goes there because it's the phantom pain. It's the belief that I can put it somewhere for good, for the bad, for the ugly. Fear, fear. It's all your relationship to fear because it's the it's the response. I always screw around and I'm like, it's like when you're a kid, you're not doing the best of things. Maybe you're driving along and you see a cop. It pulls up behind you. Now a cop pulls me out. Oh, jeez, what the fuck's this guy going to be a ticket for? Should I use my brother's badge or not? There's no more heart
Right.
because I realize I'm not in danger.
Sure.
The cop ain't going to call my mom. He ain't going to call my dad.
Right.
But I was scared about some different shit. Now, if I'm fearful, I'm like, oh shit. I mean, you need points for this.
Yeah, it's
Different
a
kind of
financial thing.
different kind of fear. But it's perspective, no matter what you look at, right? The rain. The bride says, "What the fuck did you do? It's my wedding day." And the farmer drops to his knees, but it's the same damn rain.
Yeah.
Perspective. Everything in life is perspective. So, what about? I know it's fucking crazy. What about if, thank God for my pain? Can't wait to see what lesson it teaches me. And the brain says, "You think we got another job here, Dan? Huh, I think we got another job here.
Yeah.
Fuck with him like he fucked with you." And then it just goes away because again, it's so simple. But it's like you ever in your life, and I show this to everybody all the time because it was another mind blower for me. You're sitting there in the door, you're pushing, you're pushing, you're pushing, you're pushing, and someone walks over and they just pull. Instant embarrassment. You're like, holy shit, what have I been doing? Because you were 3,000% certain that door was locked.
Yeah.
And all you had to do was pull. Because again, I'm not sure if Rumi or Nietzsche, but the door to the prison was open all along. I
Right.
just needed, I just needed to walk out. I was the one that was keeping myself in there because of conditioning. I
Sure.
didn't ask for it. I didn't need it. I can't be um, resentful for it, but it just happened by design and by mistake. But again, really, really good news. You can recondition it.
Sure.
You can recondition it because what can be learned can be unlearned. And once you have, and Jesse Itzler, great, great guy.
I know.
Yeah, Itzler, all his messages are great. Um, and he says, when you have your health, you have hope. And when you have hope, you have everything because health is everything, everything. Because without it, we can't do anything.
Yeah.
50 billion dollars in the bank and you got stage 4 cancer, you're in big
Doesn't
trouble.
doesn't mean anything.
I mean, the world. 50 million and you die next Tuesday. Good luck, bro. Keep that money. I don't want a dime of it.
Right.
I don't want a dime of it.
So here's the point that I'd like to make. We have our health. We just don't think we do.
That's right.
Our brain is believing that we're sick or flawed in some way.
Yep.
And it's acting as if that's true. So the pain and the other symptoms. This goes well beyond pain. If the brain thinks you're broken or sick or diseased or whatever, it's going to behave as
Correct.
if that's true. So
Correct.
we're not as frail and easily broken as people think. The presence of pain is not an indicator of the condition of the body.
Correct.
It's an indicator that the brain is perceiving danger. And so we can teach the brain that we're actually okay. And you, me, and countless others are succeeding, starting with Sarno's work all the way through to today.
That's it. And it's the belief, right? And I,
It's
to
the
this day,
knowledge. It's
the,
the
the,
accurate knowledge.
the,
That's what the belief
the,
is built on.
the deep knowledge, right? So
Yeah.
again, religions have said this since the dawn of time, but I still believe the two most important words in the English language: I am. I'm healthy. I'm happy. Because whether you think you can or you think you can't, you're probably right.
Yeah, for sure.
But the more you say I am is a command to the subconscious mind. I don't give a fuck if you're laying in bed and you say, I'm happy as hell. After a while, you'll start to believe your own shit
Hmm.
because you believed the bad shit all along. It's just a game. You're smarter than he is because you trained him. I am healthy. I am happy. I'm so excited. I don't deal with it. After enough time, it settles in because there's no choice not to believe it. It's like the sun coming up. It's like gravity. I don't care what Dan Bulio says. I promise you this pen's falling. You can't tell me that it's not. It's a deep-seated knowledge. It's never been proven not to be correct. It's the same thing with the brain. I am healthy. I'm happy. Because I am sick. I promise you that shit. And Joe Dispenza does a lot of stuff for that. And we know with science now, it changes the fucking chemicals in your brain.
Hmm.
You are the placebo. You can give anyone a placebo drug. To this day, the FDA doesn't approve a drug without a placebo effect. You have to say it. because the doctor said if you come up and you go to the right doctor and people have, and again, I'm not anti-doctor. There's certain times where it's great, but if you go to a doctor and you say, "Oh, he's the best guy in the world," and he says he gets rid of my depression, if you clap 3 times and say "ha ha ha," people will go around saying "ha ha ha" because they believe that it'll make them better because it's the belief. And again, the knowledge is the true belief. Because if you say, I'm really happy, I'm really happy, really happy, the brain says, no, you're not, you idiot. You're fucking in pain. You've been in pain for a decade, you loser.
Right.
But after a while, maybe he is happy. Guy won't shut up about being happy. Let's give him some happy shit.
Sure.
And there goes your good news. There goes your, oh my God, I had 3 days without pain. That's great. Do you remember when it was like, I don't know, 90 minutes without pain? Do you remember when it was like, holy shit, that seat didn't hurt? That was mind blowing.
Yeah.
But I can also, don't forget, I'm out, but I can make it come back. All I got to do is focus on it. Because what you focus on is what you feel for the rest of your doggone life. No matter what, no
Yeah.
matter what, you will feel it. Just let it go. And the Buddhists again, let go or be dragged because you're going to suffer
I love that one.
immensely. You will suffer and suffer and suffer. And here's the craziest part: we don't do it to ourselves. We don't want to, but we just do. And you say, well, you're the one that's, why can't you? And people are going, they're looking to make sense out of it. The diagnosis. It's like a doctor looking at an MRI and saying, you're not depressed. What? Guy says, I haven't left fucking bed in 3 weeks. He says, you look fine to me. Then you start thinking, what the hell's wrong with me? And you say, what the hell's wrong with me? And then the brain says, oh, fuck, man, we're in trouble. Let's look at this. Call in the big guys. There's a great movie called Inside Out. It's like
Yeah.
Disney. It's like a kid movie. And it just shows you, and that's how the brain works.
Yeah.
There's stuff going. Everybody should watch Inside Out if they haven't, because it's everything that goes on. Because when you really start, again, for the nerds out there that want a nugget, you just start looking at the conscious and unconscious mind's going to blow your socks off. Life will never be the same. Don't go too deep. Just understand the concept of it.
Sure.
And once you do, and you realize who's running the show, you realize, do you know what we control? Zero.
Well, we do have the ability to influence by controlling the input into the
Correct.
computer.
The outcome we can.
Right.
The input exactly.
Right. So let's
Because
focus on controlling the inputs, the
that's it.
stories you tell, the predictions, the
That's it.
outcome independence, the belief about what's actually going on, the acceptance of the accurate knowledge of how this system called the human
Yeah.
body and brain works.
Yeah.
Let's control that,
Yeah.
and it'll catch up into the
The
subconscious.
the the rest will work out because it's just like a drip. It drips
Yeah.
down. And do you remember? I'm sure you've dealt with this as well. Again, all of these things are common through all people with long term pain, right? So you'd hear a story about a guy and you'd be like, "Holy shit, I can't do it. There's no way." Ozanich had 32 years of pain. Oh my God, I got 20 more years left.
Mhm.
And immediately the pit would go. And then you teach yourself, like, well, that's him. It's unique to him or her, not me. And that story has nothing to do with my story
Right.
because we didn't let it in. But if you let these things in, you're in trouble.
Well, the difference is Steve Ozanich, myself, probably you for most of your journey,
Mm.
we didn't have the knowledge that's present today. We were
God.
trying to figure it out. We were in the system. I even read Sarno and I still couldn't figure it out. I made every mistake possible. And so for anybody who's listening, going, holy crap, Ozanich, 32 years, you two guys, 13 years. I'm only 2 years into this. I don't have another
Yeah.
11 years. I don't want to do this for 11 more years. You don't
Yeah.
have to. We're
Yeah.
giving you the cheat sheet right
The,
now,
the
and you
yellow
can
cliff
take it
notes.
from years to weeks or months, literally.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
It's
don't listen
where
to
the
these
bullet.
years to recover. It
What's
didn't take me
that?
13 years to recover. It took me like 12
One and a
and three
half.
quarter years
Yeah.
of making every mistake, and then the last quarter of a year is when I got things right.
Yeah. And again, that's to thank God that we're able, because we are the bullet points. If we serve any purpose on this God-given earth, it's to create the bullet points. But again, you got to go through the shit a little bit. But here's the deal. Here's the fun part. If you have enough time to watch two idiots like us go on about this shit, you've probably been through some shit, right? If you
You're already in
found
it.
yeah, if you found Dan Bulio's Pain Free You, you know, and you listen, and again, not blowing your head up, dude. Thank God for you. Thank God I found you. Thank God for the shit I went through. Um, thank God for the guys in the leaf blowers in your back years ago. You remember those guys who pissed the hell out of you?
Oh yeah,
You know?
tractor boy next door. He's
Yeah,
still here.
yeah. Oh, he's still there. Oh, good. So, here's another thing. Do you know who I don't watch anymore?
Who's that?
You, right? Because I don't need to.
Honestly, I'm thrilled.
Yes, if that's the goal.
I'm
The
thrilled.
goal is for to get for to forget people like us. Because when we have experiences in this little thing we call life, experience is what shapes us, right? Have you ever heard the story of the Chinese farmer?
I don't recall offhand.
So here's the story of the Chinese farmer. It's about outcome independence, right? The Chinese farmer, he's got 7 wild horses. One day, they all run away. So all the villagers come to the Chinese farmer and they say, "Well, that's just terrible now, isn't it?" So the Chinese farmer looks at them and he says, "Maybe." The next day, 7 wild horses come back. The villagers come back and they bring him a whole feast and say, "Well, that's just great news now, isn't it?" He says, "Maybe." So the next day, the young, ambitious boy hops on the wild horse and goes into the pasture, falls off and breaks both legs. So all the villagers come, "Oh my God, what terrible news." He looks up and he says, "Maybe." 2 days later, the conscriptioners come along from the Chinese army and they say, "We're here to take your son, but we can't. He's got 2 broken legs." So the villagers come, "Well, that's just great news now, isn't it?" And the farmer looks at him and he says, "Maybe." Because there are no ifs, there are no buts. It's just what we go through to get on the other side. There is no darkness without the light. There is no happiness without the pain. It's the only thing that we do. It's the gift of injury. It's the perspective. It's the perspective. Thank God it's cold because I can't wait to sweat my tuchus off. It's these duality of life in which we decide, holy shit, there's gotta be, because it's the reality that we're gonna die that actually only makes us live. Because otherwise it's boring as shit, because that can go on forever.
Right.
But if I know I've got 24 hours to live, watch out, boy, I'm going bug wild. But we don't know when our expiration is. But that's the way we should always live, right?
Sure.
And if everybody lived like they were dying, if everybody said I love you to more people, if everyone called the friend when they were supposed to, I'm the weirdo that'll text you if your dog, you told me 2 years ago your dog's getting surgery. I'm texting you because I remember because it's important to me. And then these meaningful connections and all this stuff that we do in our life, because when you're only focused on that one thing, that chronic pain, life, boy, it's passing you by
Hmm.
and it's going quick because it goes quicker than you think.
Yeah.
And here's the really, really, really good news. Doesn't have to be so hard, right, Dan? Doesn't
No,
have
I
to be
mean, in
so
hindsight, my 13 years could have been 6 months and it could have been a hell of a lot easier. But like you said, we got to go through it to get out of it.
100%,
Um, and I wouldn't be doing what I'm doing and the person I am if I didn't spend those 13 years dealing with it. I have a
100%,
perspective that I can share that many people don't. So
100%.
I
And
view it as a gift.
it's that perspective that allows us. And again, true for everything in life. It's that chronic. Just put it in every area of your life, wherever you want. Relationship with spouses, kids, parents, whatever it may be. Because all the principles are the same. All the principles are the same. Because when you realize that we do have control of what we decide to come in, but we let go of the control. You let go. I mean, one of the biggest mistakes I've ever made was I always had a date and I always let myself down. And I
Hmm.
always, because it was just looking, it was constantly looking. Another way it was taught to me too, and it started to make sense. It's like, for anyone who lives in a city, and this really resonated with me, is you go to your friend's house and all of a sudden you're eating dinner. You're looking, what the fuck was that? Guy says, oh, it's the, what do you mean? "Oh, the train. What did the guy say? Oh, that thing, I don't even hear it anymore.
Right.
I'm not paying attention to it. Same thing. Pain's the same way. And I know it's crazy. And it's weird as shit for us to come on the other side and say it. But I promise you, and you could promise them till the cows come home, if you start paying less attention, it will stop screaming. I will bet my life on it.
Yeah.
And I'm sure you will too,
Yeah, for sure.
because it just goes away. Just let it go. Let it go. And the more you let it go, it stops yelling. He says, hey man, I think he's on to us. And that's that voice, that little on to us. Don't worry about it. That shit will take care of itself.
Yeah.
Because that's the beauty of the subconscious mind. We don't know what it's thinking, but we can influence it.
Hmm.
It's our friend, not our enemy,
Correct.
right? It's our friend, not our enemy. And once you realize it's not your fault, it's not our fault. We didn't ask for it. In fact, when people say like, "Oh, you try," there's somebody out there that's going to say, "Fuck this guy, trying. What the hell am I supposed to do if I don't try?" But again, go back to the concepts, right? It's actually that there's a fine line, and that's when you go through the shit because I promise you, it'll click. It will click 100%, and when it does, it's that eureka. It's Ace Ventura. There was a remember that movie?
Hmm.
There was a kicker. He said Finkel is Einhorn. Einhorn is Finkel. When he figured out the kicker was the murderer, it was like, wow. And that's pain. And that's life, right? You're like, holy shit, it makes sense. And be like, wait a second. If I can use Rumi's principles and Gerald's and Dan's and this guy and this girl, and say, man, I could be a pretty cool human. And the world would be a really cool place because if you learn shit, share shit.
Yeah.
So many people just keep it in. If you learn it, if you find an interesting fact, how many hummingbirds' wings fly in a minute, share that with somebody because someone's really going to like that. Don't keep it in.
Yeah.
Share it. And the internet has got so much cool shit out there because there's a lot of guys like you and I and a lot of girls and a lot of people out there that their story hasn't been heard.
Right.
But you don't have to search for libraries anymore. Damn, ask ChatGPT. He'll give you a quick. You can say, give me some neuroscience clips and somebody, in 2 years, this interview may be part of it, right?
Could be. Yeah.
Some really cool shit that's going to happen. And um, we don't have to suffer. We don't
No.
have to suffer. We did it. We did it for way too long. There's too many people suffering, but you don't have to. And it's almost good to hear something like this. It's almost good for people to be angry at it, right? Because the anger then turns into the curiosity. I threw Sarno's book across the room.
Sure.
And I was like, what the hell does that have anything to do? I couldn't believe that someone had the balls. I said, what do you mean? I have sacroiliac joint dysfunction. The hell are you talking about?
Sure.
I had every diagnosis in the book, by the way. I'm sure you did too. I had every
No, no, because I found out about Sarno about a year in, and the
yeah,
first year's investigations didn't show much. So once I heard about Sarno, I stopped the scanning and investigations and
yeah,
diagnosis. I just dealt with 13 years of pain.
yeah,
But no, I did not pursue it. As a matter of fact, I've never had an MRI of my back
yeah,
just because Sarno was like, well, it's normal abnormality. The x-ray was
yeah,
not significant or impressive. So I was like,
yeah,
all right, I don't need to do that. And still, I feel better at 60 than I did in my 30s.
100%, mentally and physically.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't know
Again,
what I was doing back then.
gift of pain, right? The gift of pain. And for all those that are searching diagnoses out there, because there's plenty of them, I'm sure. I mean, I don't know if it's still the case, but in all the groups that I was in with you,
Mhm.
no matter how many times the people would try and say this, that, and the other, they would still come back to the diagnosis, right? And they
They're
would still
stuck on the labels, the medical
still
labels.
focus. It makes sense to me now. It makes sense until it doesn't make sense,
Well, in
right?
group, I'll always post to them. They're like, "Oh, my injury or my whatever meniscus." And I'm
Yeah,
like, "Okay, so you've done the analysis, the assessments, and it says it's TMS, perceived danger pain.
yeah,
So, do you have a meniscus problem or do you have
yeah,
TMS in
yeah,
your knee?" Oh, you don't have a meniscus problem. Drop that medical term. It's not relevant.
yeah, yeah.
And all
Oh,
sorts of
what?
medical labels. I tell people you don't have all those 14 things. You've
Yeah.
got perceived danger in your brain creating symptoms, period.
And
Leave it
it's
there.
it's so sure, right? I think I don't remember what the scale was, but I think out of 30, I had like a 29 or whatever it was. I was like, I would do them for fun just to make sure. Be like, I wonder if this one will score it differently, right?
Yeah, it was
Because
0 to 50. Anything over 29 was TMS, but
yeah, or
I've actually
maybe I had a
eliminated
49.
that. Yeah, I eliminated the pain test, and I'm now using an aggregation of the best assessment questions that the mind-body community at large uses, and I
That's
kind of
great.
pulled it all together. That's in my book, and it's also on the website and downloadable and all that. But yeah, I got
It,
rid of the
you,
pain test. That was only like 10 questions, and it was more superficial, and this one goes deeper. So.
I mean, I think that you could. Here's one question you could ask: if anyone suffers from chronic long-term back pain, you could just say, "Are there certain cars and certain seats that hurt you, but other ones feel good?" If you answer yes, you probably got TMS. I went so much. I looked into the. There was a study one time that the advent of the bucket seat
Mhm.
equals when back pain started. Right. So I I did everything. I saw everything. You did everything. You saw everything. But hey, the journey was fun, and the journey will continue to be fun. But I think it's on us, and I think it's the onus of us to really help others,
Mhm. For
right?
sure.
Because that's what we can do. Because I don't, and you're the same. I'm sure you just sometimes you just want to shake them. Just come on, just understand it because it's needless,
Yeah.
needless, needless, needless. And if you could help one soul out there, just one, you've done your job because then it's just that effect that just keeps going.
Yep.
Because it's just a nugget, because I promise you, and again, the number six, that was left out, but when the student is ready, the teacher appears 100% of the time. You got to be ready because at one time, you just got to say, oh, I give up. Because guess what? I give up and acceptance. You're not just giving up. You're just accepting what is right now. Because what is right now is not later. It's just what is right now. I always thought that if I give up, that was so scary. That was immediate. It was almost like a panic to give up, right?
We're not giving
I'm
up.
not,
We're accepting
yeah,
where we are now. That is different than resigning to a lifetime of it.
100%.
Completely different. They're not the same words, not the same meanings.
Not even in the
Acceptance
same
just says,
ballpark.
today sucks. Okay, that's where I
Correct.
am. I accept
Correct.
that, but I can get out of it, and I will. Just watch me.
Yeah. What if tomorrow's even better? What if, right?
Exactly.
What if works both ways? It's a fun game to play. Let's just get people
Absolutely.
to play it over and over, just different ways.
Pointing in the productive direction.
That's it. What about getting up and say, I can't wait to see what happens today?
Yeah. How much fun can I
Versus
have today?
versus I can't do it, right?
Or
Because we
how
all just
bad
said
is
I can't.
today? How bad is today going to be
Oh,
versus how much fun can I have today?
God, I wonder what's going to happen.
Yeah.
The brain is a funny thing, man. And when it's on our side, and what if the next 13 years of your life can be so amazing you don't even know what to do?
Yeah.
Just that you can feel it if you were to measure that. And
Mhm.
I did like a one time I did and you're a big breathing guy too, and just again, I don't care what people say or think. I care what science says, right? So if your blood pressure is through the roof and you do a simple breathing exercise, an exhalation, 4 in, 8 out, your blood pressure goes down because you're just chill.
Hmm.
Because you can't really be, nobody's really, you can't, a monk doesn't get up and start, reciting rap verses and jumping up and down. A monk is, it's going to take him at least 40 minutes to ramp up to just be like excited,
Yeah.
right? So we got to get out of that excitability and just kind of back down to earth because we're not broken. We never were.
Right.
Don't need to be fixed. We never needed to be fixed. It was the constant control and the constant look. But, and again, it's the accepting of I'm not broken versus looking for why am I broken? Like you said, two totally different things. But you really got to understand that concept.
Hmm.
There's people out there that still don't know what the hell we're saying when we say that. But when you can really understand that, oh my God, this and that are the same thing. And acceptance is not giving up. And acceptance is just, what the hell, I'm going to get raining. But I can guarantee you, you will get dry.
Hmm.
But if you believe it's as arbitrary as saying if I get wet tonight, I'm going to stay wet forever. That's as crazy. That's the same thing
Right.
as saying because I am this way now, I'm going to be that way forever. How the hell do you know? When I would have a flare up, I would already be in 2029.
Yeah.
Holy shoot! I got the World Cup in 4 years. How am I going to go see that?
Sure.
Think
Yeah.
about,
I will hear
you know,
people say, if I do this, I will suffer for days. And I'm
yes,
like, you are very certain about that.
yeah,
How
yeah,
about you can be certain that, well, if I do this and the symptoms go up, I am certain I know what it is and I can bring down the fear, and I am certain it can come down as quick as it went up. But people are like predicting these horrible doom and gloom outcomes. And I'm like, why are you so certain it's going to suck? Why not be certain that I know what's going on now so it doesn't have to suck? And I have the ability to influence that with my decisions, my belief, my focus, my attention. I mean, we have so much more influence over this than people realize. And we don't have to be terrified by it. Although you and I both know we've spent a good bit of time in terror because we
yeah,
hurt so bad. I get it,
yeah, yeah.
but we don't
Oh,
have to.
it's real. And here's just one more nugget. Like,
Yeah,
what do
then
you
we're
got
gonna
to
have to
lose?
wrap up.
Yeah, I mean, what do you got to lose? Try it. You got nothing to lose because
Yeah,
you know what you're doing is not working.
yeah,
And when you just really realize that, hell, what about if I just don't try anymore?
yeah. There's no
And
downside to what we're talking about. Only
correct.
benefit.
There's only benefit. There's a zero downside. I mean, if this was a business, if you and I were in a business and we gave that advice, we'd be trillionaires. But the last thing I'll leave you with, and this is very important because I'm sure there's a large, at least I saw it through the years and through your groups, there's a very large percentage of people you cannot believe two things at once. You cannot do your complete mind body approach while also really aggressively going after physical therapy. That was a big thing for me. You can't treat the body and solely with the diagnosis. And also for those who have orthopedic type
Yeah,
pain, because your brain is all scrambled. It's saying, well, you believe this, but you also believe that, but you can't.
right.
You can't believe the two things at once.
Sarno
Just
101.
pick one.
Sarno
That's
101. Stop your
yeah,
physical treatments. It confuses the brain. You're telling me I'm okay, but then you're treating the body. Which is it?
good. Yeah. And that was very, very hard to do. So I appreciate you. You helped save my life, my boy. So
All right, man. It's
I
my
owe you a lot.
honor, my pleasure, my privilege, whatever we want to call it. I'm grateful. Um, and I appreciate you sharing all your insights. I remember you from the group. You always had a number of quotes and insights and bullet points and things you wanted to share. That's kind of who you are. And
Yeah, yeah,
I'm sure your performance coaching clients are benefiting greatly by your worldview, not
appreciate
just
that.
about this mind body stuff, but about
That's it.
neuroscience, about how life works and everything else. So,
That's
um,
it.
yeah, man, I really appreciate your insights. I really appreciate you volunteer to come on and talk to my world, if you will.
Well, keep being you, man. Keep spreading the word. If you
Yeah,
change one life in one life, it's all worth it. You change mine, And I promise you, dude, I'll change a fuck ton more. Okay.
Me
So
too.
just keep doing what you're doing, keep spreading it out. And because the good news, it'll travel. Let's make sure that the right ears are hearing it, and let's get to the bottom of it, and just
We're doing it one person at
that's
a
it.
time.
That's
We're
it.
getting the
And
word
and
out.
and as McFarland says, don't worry, be happy.
Exactly. All right. We're going to wrap it
All
up
right.
there.
All right, my boy.
Gerald, I really appreciate you. And
Pleasure. Appreciate you.
yeah, this should post in the next few days, YouTube, Facebook. So keep an eye out for it. If you want to jump into the comments, you're welcome to it. If you want to
That's
lay
good.
low, you can do that too. But I really appreciate you as a
I
person. I
appreciate you.
appreciate your insights, willingness to share this, give some people these golden nuggets. And I'm sure you're going to help a lot of people with this interview, as well as the conversations you have around the world.
Appreciate it, brother.
So I
All
appreciate
right,
it.
man. All right,
Thanks,
man.
Gerald.
Keep
All
in
right.
touch.
You
All
got
right.
it.